Hello and welcome. I'm Jeff Bonanno, and you are listening to the Do Something Nice podcast.
Do something.
Something.
Do something.
Do something nice.
Nice.
Do something nice.
Do something nice. Do something nice.
Do something nice.
And hello again, my friend, and welcome. How is your day going? Is your heart beating today? Then that means you are alive. And every day you are alive is a good day. It may be a rough day because of things going on, but just the fact you are alive is a much better day than if you weren't. Remember, there are hundreds of people each day who aren't so lucky. Imagine you are alive, but on a wait list with no clue on if you will be alive tomorrow. Maybe you can imagine being in a situation where you are in need of an organ transplant. Some people are living on borrowed time, and so they need to value the time they have left because there isn't enough donors willing or capable of giving an organ which could save their life. It's a waiting game that some win and many lose. In fact, in Europe, it is expected that by 2027, the total organ transplant cases will reach 46,577 people. And according to organdonor.gov, the number of U.S. transplants in just 2018 totaled 36,528. And over 113,000 men, women, and children are on the wait list since the beginning of 2019. In fact, the top transplant for organs was the kidney, followed by the liver, which in the U.S. alone totaled almost 30,000 transplants. That is a lot. Now, while the kidney is a situation of transplanting an entire kidney, in many cases, a healthy liver can be done with only a portion of the liver being donated. That was the case in the West Coast, where Brianna Shaw was diagnosed with end-stage liver disease. Brianna received the news after receiving a liver biopsy years ago and found she had autoimmune hepatitis, which is a disease that tricks your immune system into attacking your own liver. By 2015, doctors informed Brianna that her liver was so damaged and scarred that a transplant was the only option for survival. Eventually, Brianna agreed to be put on the wait list. Sadly, the match she had from a donor fell through, and Brianna was left without a chance for survival. During the same time, a man who Brianna didn't know and had never met was in the process of donating his liver to a friend of his who was also in dire need of a transplant. Damian Delaney, a teacher at an LA high school, was prepped and ready to provide a portion of his liver when miraculously his friend made a recovery and no longer needed a liver transplant. This prompted Damian to request to be put back on the donor list because he felt he still needed to help save a life. It was at this time that Damian's healthy liver was matched up with Brianna, and she was informed that the transplant was going to take place. While a cadaver liver is less complicated, there were no available livers that were a match, so this opportunity was, well, to say the least, it was a chance of a lifetime that many people don't have an opportunity to have. Now, at Keck Hospital in Southern California, having only 8 anonymous liver donations during their 20 years of providing liver transplants signifies just how rare this kind of opportunity comes up. And Dr. Yuri Genik, the surgeon who performed the transplant, said, "It's amazing the extent of what somebody's giving nature can be. Some people really do receive more enjoyment from giving than receiving. During the surgery, Brianna was only a few rooms away from a man she never met and had no clue who he was. All she knew was that somebody out there was in the process of saving her life selflessly and with the intent of only wanting to do good. After the surgery, both patients were beginning their recovery process. Now remember, the liver is an organ that filters out things. And when you don't have a liver, it can't filter out things, obviously. And so going through this process is a tedious and very difficult process of recovery sometimes. Damien, who was a habitual marathon runner, recovered rather quickly, which in liver transplant situations, 2 months was about his recovery time. Brianna, however, has also been recovering, though it would be a much longer stretch for her. She has had several complications and things are going much slower. But the good news is she is making progress and there are no signs of her body rejecting the transplant. While the transplant was anonymous, Brianna did, though, finally get to meet Damien. And it created a realization that these two shared a bond that not everyone gets to have. Brianna, who said she is eternally grateful for Damien's gift of life and has promised not to waste this chance. She now wants to enter a career that will allow her to help others. It's so wonderful to know that this made an impact in her life. And I'm sure that other donations for other people can make such an impact in their lives. Charles Dickens was quoted as saying, "No one is useless in this world who lightens the burdens of another." No one is useless in this world who lightens the burdens of another. And it really is so true. Think about how you feel when you open-heartedly give a simple gift, like for a birthday or just because. Then, think about the feeling you get when you give a gift to someone when you know they needed that said gift, but don't know what is going to happen soon when time runs out for them. Now, be that gift giver, but be anonymous. How does it feel when you know that the burden which is on their shoulders has now been lifted because of your anonymous gift? It really does feel good, doesn't it? There have been times when you can get creative too. I can think of a time when I was able to help a few people at one time with my creative gifts, and it wasn't until months later that I learned how they reacted to that gift. But I tell you, it was an epic high feeling that I had for several months, knowing they would be okay, and it made for an even better feeling when I learned later on how much more it actually brightened their life. And if you have yet to experience that feeling, then maybe it's time to do something nice for someone without being caught. That is my challenge to you. And I would love to have you at least just give it a try. You don't necessarily have to donate an organ to get this feeling, no. But if you do, then I give you a huge thank you for being an organ donor. But it isn't necessary to save a life. It could be as simple as leaving food for someone who needs it, or giving regularly by volunteering at a local nonprofit organization. There are so many opportunities, and if you would like some more ideas, please feel free to reach out to me, and I would be happy to help send you some more ideas. And if you happen to be the recipient of one of these life-saving gifts of kindness, I would so love to hear about it from you. So this is your opportunity to send me an email, which can be done by sending it to mailbag@dosomethingnice.net. Now email me and tell me about your experience. And if I can share it with the rest of the world, please let me know, and we can add it to one of these future episodes. Also, if you would like more information on being put on the donor list or being put on a wait list for an organ donor, you can find more information at organdonor.gov. Again, that website is organdonor.gov. Well, my friend, that's it for this episode, and I certainly hope today's story helped lifted your heart to a new level and helped make you smile. If you would like to follow me and send me your comments on social media, you most certainly can on Facebook at Do Something Nice Podcast, on Twitter at Be a Nice Ninja. I would also like to see your ratings if you are on iTunes, and your comments about what you think about this podcast. I love feedback, and if you have any, please send it my way. And tell me if you find this show enjoyable or not so that I can continue to provide good stories to you. You can also visit this podcast at dosomethingnice.net and leave your feedback there. Thank you so much for listening in, and remember to be a nice ninja and do something nice. Take care.